Last month, my main dropshipping brand made $171,046.80. Don't forget the 80 cents, toots. And today, I want to tell you all the learning lessons of how I found the product, my best method for finding winning products in general to find more product to scale, and how I'm building the website, which is a bit counterintuitive to how most people do it and teach it, and the ad strategy, the media buying strategy, just basically giving you a full behind the scenes of how to scale a brand new dropshipping brand from 0 to 6 figures a month. Because I do get the occasional comment, the occasional hater saying, Ethan, you're just flexing numbers from a store you've been scaling for years. But, bucko, let me show you this. Got something to say now? Honestly, that graph looks like my super soaker after a Latina calls me Poppy on the dance floor, which doesn't happen very often. I usually talk to white blonde girls. But besides the point, how did I actually find this product that is now scaling to 6 figures a month and that I'm going to be scaling to $300,000 to $500,000 a month in the next ensuing months? Well, it wasn't through very traditional means. I know everyone's going to push you towards PP ads, TikTok Creative Center, Temu, all these different great methods that you can find winning products. But for me, this product was a little bit different where I was actually scrolling on AliExpress, going through different niches and categories, which I also do in Temu, and usually Temu does bear me more fruit when I do this, but I just stumbled upon this interesting product where I was like, yeah, that's a good problem solver, but it's such a boring product that I can see it working. And that's one of the first lessons that I feel like is really important in your product research journey. When you get into dropshipping, almost the first mistake everyone makes is you want to sell products that you would personally buy yourself, because you think that's easier to market or that's an easier sell. The truth is, selling a $2,000 product and selling a $20 product is the same level of effort. Because the reality is when you're selling a $2,000 product, you're gonna be marketing that to people that have more money. So it's easier for them to spend that amount if they know the value of that product is there. Same thing for a $20 product. You're gonna be marketing that to people that don't have as much disposable income, that have to make more thoughts and decision making before paying that $20, which should be, in theory, a lot easier to do and more impulse, but it's usually the same level of effort no matter what product you're selling. But everyone wants to sell the cool, trendy, visual product. They think that's what a winning dropshipping product looks like. In most cases, the guys that are flexing the biggest numbers, they're doing 6, 7 figures a month, are selling very boring products. They are selling products that nobody else wants to touch, that the beginners don't think are winners because it doesn't have the wow factor. It doesn't blow you away. Wow factor is the most overrated, most ambiguous criteria point that I've ever seen that was perpetuated back in the day 3, 4, 5 years ago by gurus who really didn't know what they were talking about. Most of my winning products are very simple. They're very boring, but they have a great perceived value because they solve a real need for people. So for me, I would recommend selling products that people need, not want. So that can be beauty products, that can be weight loss products, could be health. Just sell things that genuinely people will need in their life. It's not a matter of, oh, that would be nice to have. No, it's, oh, I can dramatically see that improving my life. Sorry, I had to clear my throat a little there. Got the mucus. Gugh. But that's the first lesson you learn in product research after a while of testing 10, 20, 30 plus products. Do not sell low perceived, cheaper products because you think that's going to be easier to do. It is not. In fact, it's usually harder to scale because when you're selling a $20 product, if you need a website to get to $1.50 per visitor, that means my conversion rate needs to be 7.5% on that $20 product to get to that level. Very difficult. If I sell a $150 product, I just need a 1% conversion rate. You do the math. It's a lot easier when you have a higher ticket product. Now, I'm not saying you have to sell $100 products because for me, usually that golden range is between 25 to 75. The product I'm scaling right now is around $40, but my conversion rate's 4 or 5% because I really understand the market. Now, in terms of the next point, websites. When you are building websites, a lot of people focus on what theme should I be using? What's the color scheme? With my logo, one product, should I do general store? None of that shit really matters. All the superficial design, one product, general store, my logo, my colors, all this shit, throw it out the window. Not important. Even when you look at your own buying decisions, do you really care at the end of the day if the website that you're buying from looks pretty? No. You care, is this a product that I need in my life? Is the price that I'm paying worth the value that I'm receiving? That is the core decision that is going on in your head. So for me, with this website on this 6-figure-a-month brand, it is one of the ugliest websites you've ever seen. If you saw this website, you'd say, these guys are beginners, they are amateurs, they have no idea what they're doing. This website might be making a sale a day max. But no, it's doing $6,000 a day. And the reason it's doing that is because I'm focusing on things that actually fucking matter. And that is my offer. That is the number one thing. I have a great offer. It's a volume discount. I have a complimentary product also thrown in there to increase the perceived value. And then once people read my entire product page, they come to the conclusion that holy crap, I need this product and that the value that I'm paying is substantially less than the value I'm receiving. That is the whole goal of your product page. It is to have every word, every section, everything needs to serve a purpose of conveying the value of your product and convincing someone that they need it. If you have sections that are just there for design, or you think that the real golden magic pill thing that you're missing is, oh, my product images need to look better. Oh, my color scheme. Oh, my add to cart button needs to change text from buy now to shop now. That's going to be the thing. No. The fundamentals are what make the difference. Now, what are the fundamentals? Make sure your website loads fast. Make sure you have an offer you're split testing so you find out what offer works best, because you won't know what price is the best price. You won't know what offer structure is the best, whether that's BOGO, whether that's low upfront plus high shipping. Everyone tends to do just the same offer every time they test a product, and you wonder yourself, why are none of my products working for me? Well, duh, idiot. You keep testing an offer that no one's enticed by, that no one's buying. So switch it up a little bit. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Yet you do it over and over and over again like you're a hamster on a spinning wheel and you expect things to change. You need to upgrade. You need to improve. You need to iterate. When you're receiving negative feedback and feedback that would indicate that your skills are not there yet, then you have to find a way to improve. Now, obviously, that can be difficult when you don't have a lot of frame of reference, when you haven't studied enough websites. So obviously, there's two routes you can go. One, you gain the experience by looking at other successful dropshipping brands, which are hard to identify in the first place because some can look ugly, some can look great. And the great websites that look beautiful usually convert like shit. And then the ugly websites usually convert amazing. So there's just so many different cases where it's hard to tell what's working, that I always recommend working with a coach just because they have the experience. They have the past success so that they can use that to teach you what is currently working so that you can just skip the learning curve, skip the whole guessing of what works and just know what works. However, if you don't have the money for that, that's perfectly fine. Go and study what winners are doing. Go on PP ads. Go on the TikTok Creative Center. See what ads are blowing up right now. See their websites. See their ad creative strategy and try to model that. This isn't middle school where you can't plagiarize. The whole game of business is taking bits and pieces from other businesses, and that's how your business is formed. Every single big brand in the world is usually a conglomeration of 3 to 4 other brands. They take bits and pieces. Any clothing brand, like let's say Gucci, they probably took bits and pieces from Louis Vuitton. They probably took bits and pieces from these other brands, and then that's what made them their own brand identity. Now, obviously, you're not building a brand really with dropshipping until you're actually scaling, but it's the same thing with your product page. Your product page is your identity. That is what people are going to land on, and that is the only thing that they are going to see because they're not going to click around your website. They don't care about your menus. They don't care about your logo. They don't care about any of that superficial shit. All they care about is this product something I need to buy right now? Is this going to solve a problem that has been nagging me? Is this going to provide me a solution or a benefit to my life that I want to have right now? So your product page should be where you spend the majority of your attention and on your website. And that's taking bits and pieces from the competitors that are selling similar products. So if I'm selling any product, let's say a hair care product, I want to look at the best hair care brands. What sections do I continually see them having? Do they have before and after a lot? Do they have product comparison comparing theirs to other similar products? Do they have different problem sections? What do they have? Then emulate that. You don't want to copy to an extent. You don't want to copy it one-to-one, but definitely take the bits and pieces, notice the nuances, notice the copy, the headlines, the benefits, notice what they're saying in the social proof, and take those over for yourself. That is how you build a great product page, and that is a fundamental skill you have to learn in order to scale to 6 figures a month. However, when you do all that, you're still not going to have the perfect product page. It doesn't happen the first try. When you look at any six-figure a month dropshipping brand, they usually went through multiple iterations of their website, changing up their offer multiple times, changing up their copy multiple times, changing up the order of the sections. So your above the fold is obviously what people see when they first load in, which is usually always going to be the same. Just keep it standard. Your above the fold needs to have your product title, reviews, price, usually bullet point benefits, and then whatever your offer is in the buy now button. Plus maybe an accordion menu below your add to cart button. That is usually the only thing that's going to be above the fold. Keep that the same. But the middle, the below the above the fold, is where things get a little dicey. That's the wild, wild west. That's where it's so fun because so many people try out different things. And you don't know what order works. You don't know if, okay, maybe I do social proof first, then I get into my description. Or should I get into my description first, then have the social proof, product demo, FAQ. That's where you should be playing around with different orders of things because it does make a difference. Because if you look at Hotjar, if you look at any screen recording software, there will always be a drop-off from every section of your product page. From your above the fold, 100% of people will load in and see that. But then to your first headline in the middle of your product page, maybe 80 to 70% of people will see that. Then going from your headline to the next section of your description or to your social proof, there will be a 10 to 15% drop-off. That is normal. So you need to prioritize the most valuable sections being at the top. Whatever is going to convey the value of your product needs to be at the highest point. Now, for this product page that I have, it is all copy oriented, meaning the above the fold, we have bullet point benefits. Then as soon as they load in and they scroll down, I'm just hammering my audience with problem after problem after problem about why they need the product. Here's why, because of this scenario, this statistic, that it's more likely than not that they're going to deal with this specific problem in their lifetime. And that, oh, this could happen to a friend. Oh, this could happen to a family member. So this is just a great product to have just in case of emergencies. You want to be prepared rather than scrambling when it happens and not being prepared. So my copy plays a big part into why this product page is converting so well. First, I have a great offer. Second, my copy is laser specific and pointed to exactly what my target audience is feeling at the moment. I'm scaring them. I'm giving them a reason to buy through fear. You have to trigger an emotion in your copy to get people to make a decision, to get off their fat, lazy asses and actually buy. So for some products, that's going to be fear. For other products, that's going to be missing out on being the best version of yourself. You have to figure that out. And you can only figure that out by reading reviews on Amazon, from your competitors, on Reddit, on TikTok comments, YouTube comments. Really step into the skin of your customers like we're in Silence of the Lambs. I forgot the name of the serial killer in Silence of the Lambs. It was like Bronco something. It was something with a horse name. Bronco Bill. I need to rewatch that movie. Great movie. Anthony Hopkins, amazing actor. Agent Scarlet, don't you like the smell of the wind when you're back home in your little southern town with your little... I don't know any of the script. I'm sorry. All right, let's get back to the point. So, brain fart. ADD kicking in. With the website. So yeah, my copy was really specific because I read page upon page upon page of reviews. Now, when I first test any product, I don't do a ton of due diligence. Usually it's about an hour or two. I'll read about 50 to 100 reviews. Notice the comment points, notice the trends. That's all you have to do. What are consistently the problems people keep mentioning? What are the benefits of why they bought the product and why they love it that they keep mentioning? And then you just have to regurgitate it. You just have to reverse engineer it and use their words to sell to them and to relate. The more relatable your copy, the more specific those use cases are, the more specific those problems are that trigger them, that get them to really think to themselves, oh crap, I do need this product. Oh crap, I do need to make a decision now. The more likely they are to convert. So copywriting is just a fundamental art, and it's tied to your overall marketing skills, which also are the most important skill you have to learn in dropshipping and e-commerce. It's all marketing. Who is the best marketer? Who can understand the audience the best and speak directly to them? Because if someone's making that decision between buying from you and another dropshipping brand, usually the two triggers that are going to make the difference is whose offer is better and whose copy speaks to me more relatably, directly. I apologize. Stuttering. I promise I'm not drunk. No. Outside of that, I would argue the third most important reason why my product page is working so well, even though it's the most ugly thing you've ever seen in your life, outside of the fridge that comes into the bar with the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your life that you have to handle, or at least your boy will handle if he's truly your boy, step on that grenade, is your ad creative. Your ad creative needs to pre-sell people on why they need your product. I will notice such a drastic difference in the conversion rate of one ad to another ad, even though they're both going to the same product page. I will have one ad that has a 1% conversion rate, and I'll have another ad that has a 5% conversion rate, just because that ad also, the messaging speaks more clearly, more directly. It gets these sheeple to finally go off of autopilot of scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Instagram to finally realize, oh, yeah, that is a good point. Oh, yeah, that is something I would like to have in my life. Oh, wow, that is unique. I haven't thought about that. Your ad creative will do a lot of the selling to the point where when someone lands on your product page, it won't even matter what it looks like because your ad did such a good job of pre-selling people before they landed. So there's a warming up process that goes on there. Some ads will warm people up and get them in a buying mood better than other ads. So if you have a simple ad, like a meme style ad or an image ad, a lot of the times those get clicks, but the conversion rate's dramatically lower. Now, you obviously have to weigh out the pros and the cons. So for instance, if I have two ads, one has a 5% conversion rate and another one has a 1% conversion rate. Well, if that 1% conversion rate, let's say, gets me clicks at 20 cents a click, and the ad that has a 5% conversion rate gets me clicks at $2 a click, well, it's 10x more expensive to get these clicks, but they spend 5 times more. However, though, the first ad that's going to be 20 cents a click with a 1% conversion rate still making me more money. Because you do the math, that means I would spend $20 to get 100 clicks and I would get one purchase. So let's say I'm selling a $20 product, that means I would be making $1 per visitor. Now, in the other example, it would be $200 to get 100 clicks, and I have a 5% conversion rate. If I'm selling a $20 product, it's about $100 for $200 in spend. I know that was a lot of math. That might have overwhelmed you. I'm a bit of a G when it comes to mental math. I swear you can do it on a calculator right now and it'll make sense. But basically in that example, the ad that's getting you cheaper clicks, but a worse conversion rate would work. But typically though, I notice that most ads get a CPC around the same range, but that conversion rate number will be drastically different based on how effective your hook is, your script, how you convince people that they have the problem, to then transitioning into why they need to solve it and the benefits and how their life will change. That truly makes a big difference. That almost makes a bigger difference than whatever you do on your product page. Your ad creative. Think about that. Now, let's get into ad strategy. How did I get to 6 figures a month? What am I doing in the media buying side of things? What am I doing with the creatives? Which is probably why a lot of you are here. With your creatives, I will reiterate this a million times, and it's the same thing with the websites. You have to be split testing. The person who split tests the most, who tests with the most volume of ads that are hyper-targeted, that target different problems, that target different audiences, that really does the most due diligence in terms of the scripting and the thought process behind creating their ads, is always going to win. The best dropshippers are just the best marketers. They're the most thoughtful with the way they craft their ads. So if I have two dropshippers, one that tests a product with just 3 random ads they found on the internet and they just throw that up, compared to another dropshipper that will test those same 3 ads, but will also make an additional 8, 9, 12 ads on their own because they did the market research, they understand the problems the target audience has, the benefits, the transformation that they want, and then they're able to script ads that speak directly to them and then find visuals that correspond with their scripts. Usually 9 out of 10 times, those new ads that they've made from scratch are going to drastically destroy the 3 ripped ads from the lazy dropshipper that couldn't make their own ads because they didn't have the skill, and they also could give a fuck about trying and really testing a product to the full extent of their abilities. So when I tested this product, I did test with some ripped ads. The ripped ads did perform well, but typically with ripped ads, the one con to them, if they are working, is that they don't last long because other people will just rip your ads. And most people are just going to also test it regardless, even if you are successful and they know about you. So when I tested this product, I initially got the validation. It was a proven winner from day one. Most winning products you can just tell the difference between a losing product and a winning product on day one to day two. On day one, usually you're going to get sales. Usually you're going to have something that's profitable. You're going to have a creative that's crushing it. You're going to have your product page converting. Maybe it's not converting to the maximum extent. It's never going to be, but it's converting to the point where you are profitable. And you know with a few tweaks, you'll get it even more profitable. So when I tested this product, I tested about 10 to 12 different ads. ABO. I had 4 ad groups, 3 creatives in each one, $20 a day. And we had 2 of the ad groups that were profitable after day one. They were doing great. What did we do from there? You only need 2 ways. There's really only 2 fundamental ways that you should be scaling in e-commerce. And it's all based on your creatives. First, to scale, you need to have a winning creative. Once you identify a winning creative, the 2 ways you scale is first vertically scaling up the ad group that creative is inside. So bumping it up from $20 a day to $30 to $40 to $50. Everyone has different rules. Most people follow the 20% budget increase rule if they're on Facebook. So 20% to 25% every single day. On TikTok, people are usually more aggressive, 20 to 50% per day. Sometimes they'll even double things up to see how it performs. If it's really performing well, sometimes people will even double and triple the budget. Now, the other way of scaling is horizontally. You take the creative, put it into its own campaign. This could be ABO, this could be CBO. I typically do CBO, 3 ad groups that are identical in the setup of the original campaign. And then I just throw in that 1, 2, 3, whatever, how many winning creatives I have, let those spend, let those cook. And if they're performing well on TikTok, you're scaling more aggressively. You're surf scaling typically throughout the day. So you might bump up your budget from $100 a day on that scaling campaign to $200, to $500, to $1,000. You're going to scale way more aggressively. On Facebook, typically if a $100 a day CBO works on the first day, you will double the budget. See if it can stay consistent. Then you can double the budget again. And then you can try horizontally scaling it and duplicating it at a higher budget again as well. So for instance, if I have a winning creative, my first horizontal scale is duplicating that campaign at $100 a day. So creating a new campaign, $100 a day with just that winning creative. Now, if that works, you can try duplicating it into another new scaling campaign and set it at a higher budget. So $400 a day, $500 a day. So that way you don't have to throttle the budgets of your campaigns too aggressively. So bumping that $100 a day budget if it works to $400, because that is very aggressive. And a lot of times when you throttle budgets that aggressively on Facebook, things get a little wacky. The pixel resets in terms of optimization. It has to now do 4x more work, which is not very gradual of a scale, and that tends to crash and burn your creative that was working. So usually the better approach is once you figure out, oh, this creative is surviving at $100 a day and it's doing very well, let me duplicate and create a new campaign at a higher spend that's starting at this $400 a day level. So it already knows here's the starting point, instead of trying to 4x the spend on something that was already used to only spending $100 a day. Those are the only ways you need to scale. That is literally it. Don't overcomplicate it. Media buying is not that complicated. You kill when things aren't profitable. You scale when things are. That is literally it. There's no if, ands, or buts. It's not, oh, my CPM is $40, $50. What do I do? My CPCs are too high. Are you profitable? Yes? No? All right, make adjustments. If you're not profitable, new ad creatives. It's as simple as that. If you are profitable, scale those up and keep making new creatives of that winning variation. So when I tested with those 12 ads and I had about 4 to 5 winners, what did I do from there? I took note of what were the concepts that we were doing. What was the messaging that I was doing? And then I figured out, oh, when I do this specific angle of fear, of talking about the problem, of really harping and showing the worst case scenario, that's what hooks people in. That's what gets them interested. So I just doubled down on that. I found more visuals. I found better social proof. I found better benefits, better product demo clips, and I made more variations of the same ads. When you're making variations, if you're wondering how to do that, so let's say you have a winning ad, usually the first variations you'll make is just all new hooks. Try 5 to 10 new hooks, same everything else with that same ad. Next thing, try changing the second clip. Keep the same hook, try doing 5 to 10 versions of that second clip. See how that performs. Same thing again. Third clip, you can change out. You can also add, let's say, 5 to 10 new social proof clips. So just throwing in a testimonial, throwing in something more to add some more social proof, or throwing in a new benefit, or changing the music, or changing the voiceover. I would say in order of importance, hook, second clip, social proof, music, voiceover, kind of the same thing. And then you can also change the call to action as well. That's the only thing you really have to do. You make variations and you double down on what works. When I was at $1,000 a day to now at $6,000 a day, all I did was I identified a winning creative, I put more spend to it, and then I made variations of it, because if you want to scale to $6,000 a day, you're usually going to need multiple winning creatives. It's not going to be on the back of one creative. We're not beating a dead horse here, people. Usually one creative can withstand the spend of $1,000 to $2,000 a day. But if you want to be spending more money and scaling, you usually are going to need multiple winning creatives. So it's the same process. You test 5 to 10 new creatives every single week at the low end. And then from those 5 to 10, usually you're going to identify one winner. That one winner, rinse and repeat. You vertically scale up the ad group it's in. You duplicate it into its own scaling campaign at $100 a day. Then you can duplicate into its own new scaling campaign. So scaling campaign number 2 at $300, $400 a day if it's performing well. Other ways of scaling, bid caps. You have different bids, usually based on your break-even point. So let's say my break-even point on a product is $30. I like to do the Rev Express method of double that to 60 and then do 10 ad groups, $60, 61, 62, 63, all the way to 70, and then just have your best creatives in there. See how that performs. Another way of scaling on Facebook, Advantage Plus. Throw in your best creatives. Simple as that. But it all is based on you have to find winning creatives. You have to have multiple winning creatives. So the majority of your time and energy in dropshipping should be your creatives. Scripting, planning, variations, building your team of editors, building your team of copywriters so that you can pump out new creatives. The way I got to 150K a month is just doubling down on creatives. It was that. Now, did I do offer split testing? Did I A/B convert my website so that I could see which one performs better? Of course I did. But that's really all you need to tinker with to scale to this level. When I was at 30 grand a month with the store to 150 grand a month, I kept doing the same things because I knew that was what worked. And the same things that I'm doing right now to get from 30 to 150K is going to be the same things I do from 150K to 600K a month, but it's doing it more. It's just more volume, but it's the same principle. I'm right now testing 5 to 10 creatives a week. If I want to get to 600K a month, I need to be testing 20 to 50 creatives a week. It's just more of the same. It's doubling down. If I want to do that on my website, I need to be doing more split tests. I need to be doing bigger split tests. I need to be doing product page design split tests overall, from my copywriting down to my reviews, everything. I need to be doing email marketing. I need to be talking to my supplier to get my COGS lower. I need to be doing some branding. But it always boils down to mastering those two things and getting those down of your website and your offer and your copywriting and your ads, your messaging, the concepts, the hooks, everything. That is literally it. So I hope you understand. To give you guys a little bit of motivation to end this video, and I hope you enjoy your Thursday. I understand that this journey and what I'm saying is very simple, or maybe for a few of you guys it's very complex because you don't have as much of a big brain as this guy. Not everyone can be 6'4", not poor. I'm looking for a guy in the villa, 6'4", not poor. I love Love Island. I watched the entire show. I'm a Rob stan. What can I say? Dude's got Riz. Who knew being a shy, theatrical, very, very drama queen man worked so well at pulling the finest woman on earth? Yeah, I just got so many layers to me. You wouldn't understand my pain. You wouldn't get it. You don't get my humor. I'm just so misunderstood. Ugh. I can fix him. God, he needs an I can fix him girl. Disgusting. Why don't you fix yourself, bro? By the way, bro, before I get into this final point, have you been hitting the gym? Can I get a quick little... Jesus, God, it's like steel. Nearly broke my arm there. I don't know. You're looking a little flabby, homie. You know I'm looking out for you. It's Papa E. You got to get into the gym. You got to get these gains. I mean, how are we supposed to go to the bars on Friday night, talk to these mommies, if you ain't looking like an absolute snack, bro? Get your money up. Get your fitness up. Even though that stuff doesn't even really matter when it comes to pulling girls, just get that up so that you have confidence. You need to have the confidence, homie. Got to have that social proof in yourself. When you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm sexy. I'm a prize. I'm a snack. I'm a munch. I'm watching you. All right. Final points. When it comes to this journey, and I know it's very hard not to compare yourself to me or other people that are further ahead, just realize I failed a lot. You are going to fail a lot. You are going to lose money. Most likely all of your money. Boo-hoo, cry me a river. Who the fuck cares? This journey is going to have obstacles. The obstacles are what makes it worth it, because nothing in life that is easy is worth having. If you want to get to this level of 6 figures a month, of traveling the world, doing whatever you want, being financially free, not stable, free, then you are going to have to overcome obstacles, and you're going to have to make sacrifices that most people are not willing to do. I know that you are willing to do that. You wouldn't be watching this video so long if you weren't willing. So when you are on this journey where you are continually taking L's, and I understand that, to you, testing products and not making any money is an L. It is not. You need to reframe your mind. You are learning. You are gathering feedback. You are improving. You are iterating, or at least you should be. Your ads are getting one step better. Your websites are getting one step better. And through putting in the reps and not worrying about if it's perfect, not worrying about if the logo or all this stuff looks great, just testing, getting it 80, 90% of the way there for the sake of efficiency, but also trying to have a good layer of quality and time and thought put into your creatives, into your copywriting, into your offers, because those are the main variables that actually convert. And if you keep doing that over and over and over again, naturally your skills are going to raise. It's most likely going to take you 20 to 30 products to get your first winner. So if it takes you 2 to 3 years to test 20 to 30 products, then obviously it's going to take you a few years to be successful. However, if you make it a priority to test 1 to 2 products a week, if you test 2 products a week, it'll take 10 weeks usually, 3.5 months. Not even 3.5 months. I'm sorry, that is terrible math. 2.5 months to have your first winner. That is the only difference between people that take 2 years to have their first winner and people that take 2 months. The volume, the efficiency, the iterations. That is it. Now, if you tested 20 to 30 products and it hasn't worked out so far, then you just need to change what you are doing. Either that, or you need to focus on executing better. And only you will truly know what you're lacking. Is it a knowledge gap or is it an execution gap? Typically with most people, it's execution because they have enough information online, on YouTube, they've had courses, they've had mentors, but it still never works for them. And the common denominator is you. Your skills aren't there. You're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're not trying enough new things. You're not focusing on doubling down on what works and what actually matters. Stick to the fundamentals, stick to the basics, and realize that you have long-term goals for yourself that are much bigger than whatever obstacle you're facing right now that is causing you to take a break from right now working on your store and watching this damn video. Seriously, what are your long-term goals? What do you want to do with your life? Think of that every single day. Have a vision board where you're staring at that motherfucker every single day, reminding yourself that I'm going to push through those obstacles. I'm going to push those payment processor bans. I'm going to push those ad account bans. I'm not going to whine. I'm not going to complain, because that is actually a good thing that is happening to me. I'm getting those problems out of the way. That means I'm making progress, because if you weren't making progress and you weren't fast, then things wouldn't be breaking around you. If you're taking things slow and leisurely, then yeah, you're not going to deal with many problems because you're half-assing it. You want to go fast. You want to break things. You want to deal with problems so you can solve them. Get it out of the way so that you know in the future, whenever it happens again, exactly how to solve that, rather than, oh, I'm going to wait 2 years down the line to deal with my first problem. That is not how entrepreneurship works. And finally, if you do want help in your journey and you feel stuck, and you want a one-on-one coach who can walk you through those obstacles and give you the exact solutions, who can give you the exact roadmap so that you can get to your first successful product as fast as possible within the next 90 days, and just have a support network and someone who's keeping you accountable. Because let's face it, this journey can be fucking lonely. If you want a one-on-one coach that will give you all the support, the answers, and give you the blueprint for getting to $1,000 a day or more with your brand, then book a call down below. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you out, because if you enjoy these videos, you're going to love talking to me in person when I'm roasting the crap out of your website, your ads, your product selection, to get you to the point of being that dropshipper that is worth scaling to these numbers as well. Because I have plenty of students that have gone into this. It's not rocket science by any means. Any person watching this video is capable of doing this. It has nothing to do with your intelligence, nothing to do with your work ethic. It's just applying yourself, learning the strategies, focusing on execution, and focusing on taking the right actions every single day. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.